Okay, folks, we're back with our tutorial series. Today we're going to start the 2050 State Street Global Advisors target date. Let's get started. All right. Fund objective. The fund seeks an investment return that approximates as closely as practicable before expenses the performance of a custom benchmark index over the long term. So the fund seeks to maximize access or assets for retirement with an expected retirement date on or about 2050. So it assumes you're going to retire about 2050. Let's look at the performance today. We're going to compare this State Street 2050 target date with the Dow Jones 2050 S&P 500. So you look at the 1 month 2050 target date is pretty close to the Dow Jones 2050 target date. The 3 month is the same way. They're both behind the S&P 500. They're supposed to be behind the S&P 500. S&P 500 is the global benchmark. Year to date, 2050 target date is a 14.75, which is close to the Dow Jones. And it's about 3.5 percentage points behind the S&P 500, which that should be normal. Let's look at the 1 year. You see the 1 year's 5.4%, 5.8% for the Dow Jones, 13.5% for the S&P 500. It's actually a newer fund, so yes, so the 2050 target date for State Street is actually a newer fund, so you won't get the 3-year, 5-year, 10-year returns on it. But we can still compare the Dow Jones 2050 target date to the S&P 500. You see for the 3-year, it's about 3.5 percentages behind. For the 5 years, about 4% behind. The 10-year is about 3.25% behind. And since the fund inception, it's at least 3% behind the S&P 500. It's supposed to be behind the S&P 500. This is perfectly normal. Stay tuned for part 2 of the 2050 State Street target date.